I tell you now that I made a vow, I'm giving you the best that I've got, baby. Yes, I tell you now. Hey y'all, it's me, Crystal. So today I'm going to be talking about my take on vulnerability and how I feel about it. For me personally, I have a lot of pride and I'm very stubborn, and I'm very much about, putting on this, face like I'm a really strong person. I want to come off as a really strong person, and I don't want anybody to ever think that, I'm weak or I'm just, inferior or anything like that. So for me, it's very hard to show a vulnerable side of me, because I just automatically associate that with weakness and being susceptible to judgment and attack and ridicule and things like that. And so just recently, I kind of started talking to this guy. And so in talking to him, I feel like I've learned a lot of things about myself and the way that I perceive certain things and the way that I behave in certain situations. And so, he's always telling me that I just try so hard to be I mean, obviously I'm going to have a wall up and I'm going to have my guard up, but even in the simplest conversations, I feel like I still have my guard up. Well, he brought it to my attention that I still keep my guard up with a lot of things. And I never really even thought about it like that before until it was pointed out to me. And so now I notice that I do that. I'm very, very guarded. And it's a protection mechanism for me. Instead of looking at vulnerability as weakness, I guess I can kind of look at it more like almost like a gift almost, and not necessarily a gift to me, but a gift to someone else. And what I mean by that is, if I am that guarded and I'm that afraid to show you this weaker side of me, this more susceptible side of me, if I'm willing to open myself up to you and let you see this person, let you see this flawed, weak individual, then I feel like I've given you something that is very precious and is very valuable, and something that not a lot of people have ever had before, not a lot of people have seen before. I am trusting you enough to say, listen, this is Crystal, this is who I am, and then here's weak Crystal. Here's the Crystal that you don't get to see all the time. This is the little sad, quiet, feeble Crystal that lives inside of me that I don't really allow people to see because she's hurt, she's flawed, she has issues that she needs to resolve. She cries sometimes, you know. She's very self-conscious, but I trust you enough to think that you would be the person that can take care of little Crystal. You can protect little Crystal. Now, if you're going to be an asshole, you don't even get to meet her. But I think that I have to kind of start looking at it from that standpoint, being vulnerable as a way of opening myself up to somebody and saying, hey, I think that you're worthy to get to know this person, versus looking at it as I don't want to look weak for him. He's not worth me looking weak for, or I don't want this person to think that I can't handle these types of situations. We can't handle everything. We cannot handle everything. There's no sense in trying to be strong for a situation, trying to be strong in a situation that you don't necessarily have to always be strong for. Be weak sometimes. You need that. You need to cry sometimes. You need to not always be the shoulder for somebody else to cry on. Where is your shoulder? You need a shoulder too. And so I think that with vulnerability, you kind of have to decide who is worthy of you being vulnerable to or being vulnerable for. Not everybody is worthy of your vulnerability. So you need to decide, I need to decide, we need to decide who it is that we're going to open ourselves up for, open our hearts up for, and how deep do you want to go into this? Like, if you have a lot of personal issues that are holding you back from maybe expressing yourself to somebody, or um, giving the guy that you're with or the girl that you're with the love and attention that they deserve? Is it because of the fact that you're not ready to be weak for them? You're not ready to be vulnerable for them? So that's just my take on it. I had to really give it some thought. And I think that, the more and more I have these conversations with this particular young man, and I'm really starting to see um, things about myself that I didn't necessarily see. It's always easier to um, say that you don't have an issue, or say that, well, I don't ever do that. And then when somebody brings it to your attention, it's like, oh, well, maybe I do.